does as he's told, I'm happy. But he is a Steller Seagull. I'm getting there, all right, I'm getting there. So, you know, going back to the bird, the Steller Seagull, I'll tell you his name in a minute as well if you're lucky. So it's just with the eagles, and anyone that flies an eagle will say to you that it's all about confidence and it's all about that relationship with bird, and it really is with him. And as I said to you, he gets mobbed by herons today by the sounds of it, that it really puts him off. He's a big bird, so he's a potential threat to wild birds. What they don't know is that Benbecula here is a big girl's blouse, and if he gets mobbed by any wild birds, he's likely to lose his height and go and sit in a tree. He would very rarely turn around and give them something back. Actually, some of the smaller birds do that more than the larger birds. But when you think about all the energy he's exerted into building up the height, and they clonk him on the head, they get above him and intimidate him, and it's a very nerving thing. So to build that relationship with him, I'm so pleased with how well he's doing. Now, it's going to be hard for him today because there's hardly any lift, there's hardly any wind. Now, the beginning of last week, we had that horrible bitter wind, didn't we? He loved it, it was great. And he did some beautiful flying. It's not to say that he wouldn't do any beautiful flying today. Now, Benbecula here is a Steller Seagull. There you go, twice for you, really getting it now. The Steller Seagulls are beautiful. They're such amazing birds, and we're really lucky because he was born and raised here at the centre. He's 3 years old, and he's what we call a sub-adult. So effectively, he's a teenager. He's not a baby, he's not an adult, he's somewhere in the middle. And we can tell by that not only his age, but looking at the plumage of the bird as well. So I said to you earlier that we have a juvenile Lana Falcon. She's still very much in her juvenile plumage, and it does differ as they go through their life stages. Perfect example being a grey buzzard eagle. Now, ladies and gents, he doesn't normally do this, so I'm going to point it out to you whilst he's doing it. Holding one foot is a very relaxed position. He's not hurt his foot. He's just super chilled out. You know those guys that sit on the sofa and open their legs and just have their arms out like that? That's basically what he's doing, but it'd be very ungraceful for him to do that right now. So he's just relaxed, and that's exactly what I want him to do. I want him to chill out. We'll get one more flight out of him, and that'll be it today. That's it. That's the kiss of death. He's probably not going to do anything now because I've asked him that I want him to do one more. So the Steller Seagulls in the wild are a rare bird. They're a rare bird to find. So it just makes my job that little bit more important with all of the birds. We're explaining to you what they do in the wild, why they're so important. And he's a perfect example of what we humans do to eagles, which is stupid. Perfect example is a white-tailed seagull. They were a big bird. We thought they were a threat to livestock. So we killed them all, which was brilliant considering Scotland rely on people coming to see white-tailed seagulls for ecotourism. So that's clever, isn't it, killing them all? He's not a dangerous bird. Potentially anything is dangerous. Your cat is dangerous. But he's not nasty, and that's why I have him here, and that's why, good lad, that's why we do what we do. And the fact that they're a rare bird is to explain to people what we do, how we manage them, how we work with them, because that could potentially be the key to their success in the wild. And apart from the fact that he's gorgeous, isn't it? Yes. Now you will notice me open my hand with him and make everything very obvious. He's like an onion. Any Shrek fans in the audience? Yeah? Because to him, food is the best reward ever. So if I have my hand closed or if I have my hand behind my back, I might potentially be concealing some food. Now I don't want him to jump on me or on top of my head, that would hurt. So I show him that I have no food. It makes perfect sense once you start understanding what we're doing and why we do it. Now, looking at him, people go, well, he's huge. He actually only weighs 4.6 kilos, which is nothing really when you consider the size of him, but he doesn't want to be too heavy. Birds are amazing. They have a comb-like structure to their bones, lightweight feathers, and actually, if you looked at him, there's not a great deal of him. He's well adapted for hunting fish. He is the largest fish eagle in the world, and if you compare him to the African fish eagle that is on the hawk, there is quite a big difference between the two, but the same purpose applies. And their feet really aren't very big for the size of their body. Whereas if you look at the land eagle, the Verreaux's eagle, who needs to be highly adapted and very powerful in her feet. Her feet are huge. They really are very powerful feet. Actually, her beak's quite small, whereas if you look at his, it's quite big. There are several theories as to why it's so big. And mainly being that a lot of their food potentially could be frozen. They're going to pick at a lot of big carcasses as well, whale carcasses, deer carcasses. They're capable of catching seal pups if it takes their fancy. So they need to be powerful with their beaks, and that's one of the reasons. Aside from the fact, I think they've just got a fetish for yellow, but you know, hey. I'll go and ask the female down the bottom and ask if it tickles her fancy. But I do hope you've enjoyed him. I'm going to actually have a bit of a play around with him today. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do because I'd actually quite like him to do that again, whatever he did the last time, because that was very nice. We do always change it. It's down to the birds, and we try and read them as best possible. I'm sure you're sick to the back teeth of listening to me talk, as am I. So I'm going to finish my commentary there, but please feel free to hang around and ask any questions you like, as long as you stay that side of the fence. Otherwise, I have trained him to take away naughty small children, if you want to have any volunteers. The next demonstration is at 1:30. We have a completely different team of birds, so well done you for getting out of bed and coming to see the first demonstration, because he won't be flown again. That's him now. He'll have his full food reward, and he'll go and sit out and chill on the hawk walk and probably have a good bath. I don't know what's on the next demonstration. I can't for the life of me remember. Some birds. There you go. That'll rule out anything for you. Thank you very much for listening to me. The cafe's through the hedge on the right to you, and hopefully we'll see you later. Thank you very much. Thank you.